Welcome back to Thompson's Coins, where today, here in the store, we have an educational video, which hopefully you'll find pretty interesting. Here I have a polymer banknote, which I'm fairly confident you've either never seen before, and there's a good chance you've never even heard of it. So let's take a look and learn a little more about it. So the year was 1966, and Australia was plagued with a whole bunch of counterfeit $10 notes, the old paper ones. This is not one of the counterfeits, but it's a good example of, a pretty basic banknote, all things considered. So whilst the authorities quickly tracked down and destroyed the counterfeit notes and arrested the perpetrators, the incident highlighted the need for a more secure form of currency. Enter Dr. Herbert Nugget Coombs, the Governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia, and he was in charge of finding a solution. Now you're probably wondering, why was his nickname Nugget? No, he didn't love McDonald's chicken nuggets. It was it was a reference to a gold nugget. He was of a short stature and very, I don't know what the word is. He was very well liked and compared to a gold nugget, so there you go. That's the explanation as to why he had the nickname Nugget. So in 1968, Dr. Coombs organised a think tank of experts. There were 5 expert scientists on the panel who were tasked with coming up with a more secure form of currency. And interestingly, one of the key things to come out of the think tank was the need for an optically variable device. Now, this was something akin to a hologram, which was not able to be reproduced by taking a photo and then reproducing. This think tank consisted of top scientists from the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, much easier to refer to as a CSIRO. Fun fact, the CSIRO was also responsible for developing Wi-Fi, which makes no sense because the internet in Australia is terrible. The reason this particular note is quite worn as well is they were used in a device called the turbula, which was to simulate circulation, so all the wear and tear that you expect. They use various things like dirt, gravel, all sorts of materials that, a long-standing banknote would need to stand up against. So these incredibly rare notes that do turn up from time to time, more often than not, look like they've seen far better days, which they have, but there is a reason for it. They were designed specifically to be road tested, basically, and as a result, they held up, but they've, got a fair few bumps and, creases and whatnot. So this particular banknote we're looking at today came from the 1970s. It wasn't until 1988 that they actually came out with the iconic first successful polymer note. I need to say first successful. Some people get upset. There was an earlier attempt at a polymer note, which was a bit of a flop, but for all intents and purposes, this was the first successful official polymer banknote issue in the world. And we had the bicentennial $10 note. And despite some early issues with the OVD, the hologram with Captain Cook on it, this banknote was a big success and sort of represents Australia's introduction to world-class banknote technology. And this banknote that we looked at today, this humble note here, represents the early research and development process. And Australia now has, I'm not sure that I'd say it's arguable, it's just a fact. Australia has some of the most incredible banknotes in the world. And that's not just me saying it as an Australian. It's generally acknowledged that the counterfeit prevention methods and all of the technology that's present in Australian banknotes is among the best in the world. This note here, the 1988, the first Australian polymer banknote. And nowadays, I actually think the artistry's sort of gone backwards a little. I like the artwork on some of the older banknotes. Let me know what you think in the comments, but, we've got pretty impressive banknotes now as a result. So there you go. The CSIRO spent many years and had countless scientists working on the research and development into polymer technology, which has been a big success in Australian currency history. But it's not every day that you get to see a tangible link to that research and development period. It's also worth noting, pun intended, just how incredibly rare, not only how rare, but how significant a piece like this is for the currency story of Australia. So in terms of the development phase of polymer technology, something like this is such a cool, tangible link to that. And I've got to say, even if it's not the type of thing that you collect or that you have an interest in, I do encourage you, if you're ever visiting the shop, just come and have a look at it, because it's not the type of thing that you expect to see in a shop. You know, it's the type of thing that I expect to see in a museum or something like that, which is one of the great advantages to having a shop like this, is people can come along, and if you don't necessarily have the funds to pick up items like these, you know, historical pieces like this, you can at least take a look at it, enjoy it, have a chat with me about it, you know. I'm always up for a chat about this kind of thing. But yeah, it's really, really interesting. If you'd like to learn any more about this note, feel free to drop into the store here. We are at Shop 8 in the Boronia Mall in Boronia, and we are open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. So you can come on in. If it's not sold, you can view notes like this and some other interesting bits of currency history. But at any rate, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in coin collecting and banknotes and all this sort of interesting stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel. And that's it for now. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you soon. And for anyone that's wondering, I do have some other incredibly cool banknotes that I will be highlighting in future videos. That's if they don't sell before I get the chance to put the videos together. But there are some other really cool, interesting promotional banknotes that I've just picked up recently that I will hopefully get around to filming some videos on soon. Otherwise, drop into the shop and have a look for yourself. There's a lot of interesting stuff on display here. That's it, just a quick little shameless plug of the shop. And just another update. It's going incredibly well. It's a lot of fun, never a dull moment, but I'll continue to make hopefully interesting, educational and informative videos for you guys, and I really appreciate all the support. See you soon.